Hey, friends. Today, I want to get right into something that's going to be very uncomfortable, but it's okay. It's important. It's something that you need to hear and you need to know it right now. Scams are targeting people our age every single day. And what's changing about them in 2020? Now, guys, I'm not saying this to scare you, nor is this clickbait. I'm bringing this up because, very simply, knowledge is power. And in this case, knowledge is protection. Spend a few minutes with me right now. It could save you, your spouse, someone you love, your grandparents, thousands of dollars tomorrow. This just may be a video that you need to send to somebody that you love who's currently being scammed. Guys, the numbers are bigger than you think. Let's just talk about the scale of the problem overall because it puts everything else into context. A new study that I read from AARP found that nearly 4 in 10 US adults, now that's roughly 3 million people, have already experienced fraud at some point, and an estimated 150 million more worry that it could happen to them. Now, groups like the FTC believe that actual losses nationwide may reach 96 billion in a single year. That's just unbelievable. That's why this video is so important. Now, guys, for those of us who is 60, in my case, I'm getting a little bit closer to 70. Specifically, the trend is even more alarming. Since 2020, the numbers of adults 60 and older reporting losses of around $10,000 or more from imposter scams alone has more than quadrupled. If that means reported losses of $100,000 or more have also jumped up $55 million. Wow. The FBI's most recent Internet Crime Report, the ICR, puts the average fraud loss for adults 60 plus at a staggering $83,000 per incident. And here's part of that reality that really struck me. Most of us underestimate just really how bad it is. I personally have said in multiple videos that we've got a really good friend that got divorced and her settlement was $1 million and she was taken for the full million. And now she lives with family. I mean, it's a horrible situation. And this is happening every single day. My cousin had one of those that she had won money, but she had to pay the taxes on it. And she even went to payday lenders just to try to get the money. It truly is impacting people, and they are so good at this. And that's what we're going to uncover today. All right, my friends, AI. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. AI has changed the games. If you've heard about something called voice cloning scams and wonder if they're real, honestly, they are. And guys, it's the fastest growing type of scam ever. Scammers are now using artificial intelligence to recreate a loved one's voice from just a few seconds of audio. Now, often it could be lifted from, say, social media posts. And FBI reports that Americans lost around $893 million related to AI scams last year. And this is everything from the clone voices to AI generated phishing emails and to romance scams. And you don't think that this can happen to you? It's very, very simple. This could happen to you to clone your voice. Just imagine the phone calling and saying, "Hey, is this Paul?" "No, I'm sorry. My name's not Paul." "Well, I'm sorry. Who is this?" "Well, my name's Mark." "Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. I was trying to reach a guy by the name of Paul in such and such city." "No, I live in Chicago." "Well, All right, he's already got your voice, he's got your name, he's got you saying your city. It's just really that easy. Now, another one that absolutely scares me to death is what they call the classic grandparent scam. Now, this is where the caller pretends to be a grandchild that is in trouble and is begging for emergency cash. And it's been supercharged by this AI technology. One very widely reported case involved a Philadelphia attorney who received a call that sounded like his son in distress. He said afterward that there was absolutely no time to think. All he could think of was about he had to help his son. He had to help him right then and there. And that is exactly the reaction scammers are looking for: panic that shuts down our normal instinct to pause and verify. CNN's tech reporting has also noted that scammers can take fake caller ID to look like it's coming from a number that you'd already trust. Romance and friendship scams. Now, this one doesn't really get talked about very much. ARP research shows that nearly 1 in 10 adults aged 50 and older, so this is about what, 10 to 11 million Americans, have formed what they believe was a genuine romance connection online that turned out to be a scam. My own daughter was catfished. Fortunately, she didn't lose any money. So ARP's contact says that there are increasingly calls about friendship scams rather than just romance scams, because scammers are now building trust through shared hobbies, shared gaming, shared book clubs. So this is what worries me the most is the reporting gap. More than half the people who lost money in these scams actually never reported it to anybody, right? Often out of embarrassment. So, guys, please hear me when I'm saying this. If this is happening to you, this is not your fault. And please, if you know somebody that this is happening to, come to them out loud. Don't go, how could you ever let this happen? It's very easy. They practice this every single day. All right, guy. What's coming for the rest of 2020? Now, based on ARP's fraud experts, here are the schemes to watch for closely this year. Number one will be an employment scam. Now, this will be a fake job posting. Often it's going to be something more like work from home. And it asks you to pay a fee up front, hand over some personal information so they can get you set up. And this is all going to be before you're even hired. The other one is called a recovery scam. Now, criminals pose as law enforcement or like a consumer advocate who offer to help you recover money from a previous scam. Often, this is a scammer that is in the exact same office where you just got scammed from, and they're preying on victims a second time. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting. And Medicare impersonation. So callers or emailers claiming to be Medicaid or Medicare need to confirm your information so that they can issue a brand new card. Well, Medicare will never call asking for personal information. And then you've got investment in cryptocurrency pitches. Now, often these are introduced through some type of romance or like a friendship connection. They encourage you to move your money into accounts that you can't really verify. They'll tell you how wonderful they did on one or two purchases of Bitcoin and how Bitcoin is going to jump in the next 3 weeks and you need to get into it. You go onto this website and buy some Bitcoin and watch it jump. And it's going to jump on screen, but your money's already gone. You didn't actually buy it. The other one's going to be your AI voice cloned emergency calls. Now, this is where your grandparent gets scammed, kind of like we described above. It's nearly impossible to detect by ear alone. Guys, there are some things that you can do, simple habits that actually work. You don't need to become a cybersecurity expert to protect yourself or your family. Here's some really easy things, some study habits you can do that will make a huge difference, right? Set up a family safe word phrase. Okay. Only you and your family know this phrase. So anyone claiming that it's an emergency can prove that it is really them. Now, the phrase could be boating is fun, yellow. Just make up anything that you want, something that's easy for you and your family to remember, right? If they cannot give you that phrase, then you never send them money. Don't send them gift cards, nothing. They haven't verified you. So do not send a thing. All right, guys. Now, what's likely to happen is that the person that's trying to scam you is going to start to create urgency or a little bit more of an emergency. And they're going to ask you, hey, do me a favor, just keep this secret for a little bit. Okay. I don't want to get in trouble. You've got $20,000 of my money and I just want to get some of that back. Can you give me your bank account? It's already sitting there. And guys, they practice this every single day. You don't want to give them any information that they can't verify or you can't verify, or simply say, look, let me call you right back. But never call them back at their phone number. Call the financial institution, right? Call Bank America, call Capital One and say, did somebody just call me? Is my son there? Is my daughter there? You're going to find out, no. They're going to simply hang up the phone. So if a call creates urgency or asks you to keep things a secret, guys, that is a red flag. Just simply hang up. All the person wants to do is separate you from your money. Now, what are you going to do if you find that something is suspicious, whether you've been scammed or a good friend has been scammed? Well, you need to report all suspicious information to AARP Fraud Watch. So you should see it right now on the screen. Or you can get online and report it through the FBI 3.gov. That's IC3.gov. And the FBI's reporting helps investigators track these networks down. It's really important that you report it. Don't be embarrassed. It happens every single day. Now, the real defense in stopping this, well, guys, it's talking about it. This is why you hear me talk so often about senior scams. And here's what I want you to take from all this. Scammers, they count on silence. They count on shame. I mean, they'll even get to a point where you better pay me that $250 or I'm going to post it all over the internet that I took you and what a loser you are and embarrass you. Well, they tried to do this to my cousin. They even sent 10 pizzas to her house. That's how mad they were that she stopped it. She didn't send them a dime. So, guys, they count on silence, they count on shame. ARP's own research found out that 9 in 10 Americans agree fraud can happen to anyone. Smart people, careful people, financially stable people, everybody's included. The single best thing we can do for each other is to talk about it openly, talk about it with our adult children, talk about it with our younger children, talk about it at the dinner table, in our retirement communities. And guys, talk about it down below in the comments, right? If you know somebody that's been scammed, I'd like to hear a little bit about it. I'd like to know not who the person is, but just some general information about it. And that will help me direct future videos on specific areas that people are getting scammed, right? Guys, stay engaged in retirement. isn't just about hobbies and travels. It's about staying sharp, staying connected, looking out for one another. That's what this whole retirement for seniors community is all about, right? So, guys, do me a huge favor. I want to go ahead and wind this up. If you like this video, please, I'm sure you're going to love this other one. But before you leave, if you think this video can help someone, please go ahead and forward the link on to a loved one. It's so important that we bring the villains out, pull off their mask, and let law enforcement know who they are. All right, my friends, stay safe out there. I'm going to see you in the next video. My name's Mark, Retirement for Seniors. Bye for now.